Boy, watching the news on Friday afternoon when I got turned on the evening news. Because I try to check out a little bit on the weekends. And I'm excited about the Giants game coming up Friday night and everything like that. Flip on the evening news, and man, Friday was just crazy in the Middle East. And most people probably missed it. Like I was saying earlier, the angry Muslims in the street really need to realize that Friday's the worst day to launch their mayhem because it gets lost in the news cycle.
Right.
They need a better marketing strategy.
Yeah, they need to do it on like a Tuesday. But to all kinds of people getting killed and flags set on fire and effigies of Obama burnt, and it was just mayhem on Friday. And what do you do with it? While we were running an advertisement put out by the State Department, $70,000 of taxpayers' money to say, we're sorry about that movie. It's awful. We think it's awful too. And boo-hoo-hoo, aren't we terrible? And it's absolutely unbelievable that we have allowed ourselves to get put in a position where we're apologizing and nobody condemns them.
Right.
As opposed to saying...
Nobody delivers the incredible, complicated message of, listen, you can burn this embassy or you can ignore it completely, and the result's the same. Nobody's going to watch this piece of crap. Just settle down.
I was watching the news on Friday, and I wanted to put up a YouTube video myself.
Right.
I wish everybody put up a YouTube video saying Muhammad sucks ass.
Oh.
I would like 100 million of those videos to go up today.
Yeah.
And cartoons in every newspaper and magazine. Take a suck of that. Now, what are you going to do with that? You're either going to grow up and join the 21st century and realize you just got to ignore that. Or you're going to do whatever you're going to do, and then we're going to kill you. Those seem to be the two options to me.
He said.
I wish everybody would post an anti-Muhammad video. Have Muhammad having sex with a goat. Put the video on today. So there's so much outrage. We either kill you or you grow up and realize, you know what, I just got to ignore this stuff because it's a sticks and stones thing.
MuhammadBarnlove.com. I am, guys, this is what I was saying all week last week. You back down in the face of this barbarity? Is that the word, barbarity? Barbarity? Barbaric. You're a fool. Oh, you apologize this time, everything's going to be fine. No, they shove you back on your heels take another step forward. Hey, do we have the Salman Rushdie clip, Andy? Let's hear that.
How much time have we got, Michael? 1 minute. Okay, go.
You will notice that CNN, for example, has not aired the video, even a clip of it, and we have not aired the cartoon. Are we making the right decision, or do you think it is important to show the cartoons?
See, it's a news organization. You have to report the news. You can't censor the news because somebody might not like the news, and you go down that road, there's not going to be much to show. And
so we should be showing.
Of course, you should.
That is beyond dispute. And so we launched this big ad campaign on Friday to apologize for one YouTube video? I mean, what are we going to do for the next YouTube video? Are we going to do we can't do this every time.
Or the next cartoon or South Park episode or what have you. Boy, if Mitness guys don't jump on this like crazy, they don't deserve to be dog catcher, much less president.
Yeah, there should be 100,000 of those new videos put out today. Let's just swamp the internet with videos saying bad things about Muslims until they have to grow up. You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.
We'll take your calls, 1-866-331-TALK, 1-866-331-TALK.
Come on, you people that are good with the internet, make Muhammad's a goat rapist video and put it on there, would you?
That goat asked for it.
It's 8 o'clock news time.
There is speculation that Mitt Romney applied a self-tanner to dye his face brown before addressing a town hall on Spanish-language TV. Speculation, he looks like my dad's recliner. At an AARP conference yesterday, Vice Presidential candidate Paul Ryan pledged to repeal Obamacare and was booed by the audience. Then Ryan won them back by yelling, "Hey, who likes soup?"
Anti-old people humor.
I was watching the 60 Minutes interview last night because I'd heard people talk about this but hadn't seen it. Mitt Romney is oddly more orange than he has been.
It's the summertime. He's been enjoying the sunshine.
It's actually fall now. It's been summer for quite a few months, so that would have made sense.
It's
3 months
late
ago.
Summer when people tend to be at their orangest.
Colbert had this side-by-side a couple days before the Univision thing and then the night of the Univision thing. There's a definite difference.
Now, John Kerry went through the same thing. Is there something that goes on when you're running for president that you go through an orange period? Or makeup. You have a bad week of makeup or something. Because remember, John Kerry was orange briefly when he was running for president.
Maybe the Secret Service gives you a series of inoculations so they can't get you with, biological weapons or something that turns you orange. I don't know. Nobody knows. So you're worried about his color. Meanwhile, the president is apologizing for freedom of speech and tacitly implying to Pakistan that we're trying to roll back freedom of speech for you. Give us a little time. Like he told Putin, I'll have more flexibility after the election to roll back the First Amendment.
Can we come up with the, I should have asked for this earlier.
We ought to have Dr. Z to the White House. There's no time for Netanyahu. Maybe you meet with the Zawahiri.
Maybe I've already got it in front of me and I just haven't seen it. The text of that apology ad that we ran in Pakistan on Friday, paid for with your tax money, the State Department's idea, $70,000 ad buy, to say, sorry about that video. It is really awful. And I'll tell you what, we're disgusted by it. It would seem to me, and I was just getting so worked up on Friday watching things blow up, watching these complete lunatic savages tear apart movie theaters because they show Western movies.
Oh, Lord.
All in the name of this movie. There's like two things going on here. On one hand, the movie was not responsible for our ambassador being killed. That was an Al-Qaeda attack.
Right.
And that needs to be paid attention to. But this movie does have a lot of people angry, and that needs to be paid attention to, because that shows you how crazy they are.
Mm-hmm.
And it would seem to me the only response to this is to flood YouTube, flood the world with cartoons and movies and songs saying bad things about Muhammad until they finally grow up and realize, what difference does it make? That's like just your opinion, man.
Right.
In other words, free speech. They get used to the idea of free speech.
Modern world. Join it. It's fun.
I can't come up with any other way to fight this other than, it's crazy to me. So we run this ad by apologizing. Really? You think there's not going to be another YouTube video within 48 hours saying something bad about Muhammad?
Please, obviously.
God, if I was Dr. Z, if I was a terrorist, I'd create a YouTube video and claim it came from Omaha just to have a reason to blow something up.
Well, right. It's a paradox, this ad. The message of the ad is, look, it's just, one guy and a couple of people cranking out a YouTube vid. So we're very, very sorry it happened. Well, wait a minute. How can you be very, very sorry if it's just one guy cranking out a YouTube vid? It's going to happen again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that.
I'm horribly disappointed that it hasn't. I'm horribly disappointed that there aren't thousands of Mohammed mocking videos out there on YouTube right now.
We can make one right now, Jack.
Well, we're not anonymous, and I don't want to get my head cut off.
No, there's no way I would do that.
But no the anonymous, y'alls, you sign on as, likes to golf 3. Okay, great. They're not going to track you down. Everybody do it anonymously.
The guy down in SoCal who put together this stupid video tried to do it anonymously. But we just need to swamp the world with cartoons and videos. There'd be no reacting to all of them. That seems to me like the only way to fight this and the easiest nonviolent way to fight it.
Or the great clash of civilizations would begin in earnest.
Okay, let's get it on then.
Let's get it.
That's exactly my thoughts on Friday. I was watching this. We flood the world with these cartoons and videos. They either grow up and join the 21st century, or we get it on, in which we will emerge the victor. So take a suck of that.
Well, yeah, let's get on it now before we do any more backpedaling and apologizing and letting the sides get a little more equal. God, it's disgusting. We're so sorry. We're so sorry somebody made this video.
Our phone number is 1-866-331-TALK, 1-866-331-TALK.
Unbelievable. 1-866-331-TALK. Toll free. Toll free! People still say that all the time. What does a phone call cost? You can call the moon. It'll cost you 11 cents.
This has been our stance more or less since 9/11, though. It's not just an Obama administration thing. We've been doing we're so sorry, we understand you're a religion of peace and we shouldn't do this or say that.
It's a religion of submission, by the way, not of peace. Yeah, you're right. And you know what? It was probably worth trying. It was worth extending the old olive branch.
I agree with that one.
They set fire to the olive branch.
I agree with that. I mean, a lot of people like to beat up Barack Obama for his Cairo speech that he gave when he first came into office.
Including me.
And it didn't hurt to give it a whirl. And having read the book, I know that while he was giving the speech behind the scenes, they were working actively on the computer viruses and increasing the drone campaign and everything else. We thought, we'll give it a try. Maybe they'll like us better than they liked George Bush. And it turns out that didn't work. But man, this reaction on Friday, that I don't know who directed that. I don't know if Barack Obama had to sign off on it, but just a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Bruce in Sac is on the line. Hey, Bruce, what's on your mind?
Hey, hello there.
Hi.
Yes, I have a suggestion about this Muhammad video stuff we do. There's an excellent video on YouTube. Well, actually, the Muslims removed it, but someone made a copy of it.
What do you mean the Muslims removed it?
Well, through threat. But it's an excellent video. It's called Everyone Loves Allah by a guy named Venom Thing X. Of course, you can't get through Venom Thing X anymore.
So we can just Google. People should Google.
Yeah, Everyone Loves Allah 2. Actually, Everyone Loves Allah 2 because there's the first one, too, but the second one's far better.
Is it like The Godfather where the sequel's every bit as good, or is it kind of a drop-off in your opinion?
Well, I don't know. I actually thought the first one was better. The second one is the Godfather thing goes. But anyway, I'm just saying, though, it's a lot like the one that's causing the Muslims to go crazy with this Innocence of Muslims video.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Somebody make a mental note of that or jot it down or something. Something I'd like to see that.
Did you see any of the video of Friday of various nut jobs doing various nut job things?
Yeah.
I mean, beating on cars with bats and setting them on fire, and just the rage on their
Acting
face.
like gorillas.
Just the rage you could see in their eyes.
Look how devout I am. Look how devout I am.
A YouTube video. I mean, there's no way to combat that. There's no.
Oh, actually, there is.
Well, yeah, there is, but there are no apologies that are going to do any good. There's no.
Oh yeah.
We're sorry. One person somewhere in the world made a video that offends you.
Ahmad. They just apologized. Oh, well. Put out the effigy, would you? Somebody might get hurt with the fire.
You sound like
apology accepted.
Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, that's a Middle Eastern man. Clearly, look at me. I'm on my camel. I'm wearing sheets.
Sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger there for a second.
No, not at all. Yeah, so anyway, my fabulous portrayal. Like an apology is going to settle him down. The guy set a car on fire, and he's now beating the flaming car with a burning effigy of the president. You think he's looking for a heartfelt apology? No, God dang it.
These kids I saw in this movie theater on the news Friday, they looked like they were teenagers trying to rip the seats out of the movie theater, and it's on fire and beating on the screens. I mean, what are you going to do? So you're going to run an ad saying, we in the United States are very sorry that YouTube video was so offensive, and we'll try to do better in the future. I mean, what? That's the way to handle that situation?
Richard in Sacto. Hey, Richard, go ahead.
Well, over the break, there was a little clip from Hillary saying that we espouse democratic ideals. I didn't catch all of the words. So I wonder why her State Department is then putting out the video in Pakistan if to the United States. She's talking about how we support democracy and freedom of speech and everything.
I think one was a political reaction to the backlash in America.
Yeah, I think they're trying to have it both ways, and, I can't blame them. It's probably not a terrible idea.
I want to dig up the text of the apology ad we ran in Pakistan. Have that for you coming up. Got a bunch of calls, 1-866-331-TALK. Some of you people that are good with a computer, make an anti-Muhammad ad. Post it to Al Jazeera. We need to swamp them with ads until they just got to grow up or something.
Yeah, we'll get a translation of that ad that ran in Pakistan. It features the president and the Secretary of State denouncing the Internet movie. Oh, my God, just capitulating, apologizing to the angry mobs.
Phone number is 1-866-331-TALK. You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.
It's always better at home.
The Armstrong and Getty Show. I'm Jack Armstrong. He's Joe Getty.
Hey, how you doing? The story re this anti-Obama. This anti-Muhammad video gets worse and worse. By the way, just a quick note before I forget, I will never watch 60 Minutes again. I don't care if they interview Jesus Christ and me. I won't watch that episode.
That'd be a good episode. I mean, for you, I would think that'd be an episode you'd want to tune in. First half hour with Scott Pelley, Jesus, and then the second half hour, Steve Kroft interviews you.
That's my point exactly, Jack.
Apparently, it's you against Jesus and something.
No, not at all. Even an episode that compelling. That's exactly. I will not watch that piece of crap show again. And I will explain. After the news, I pledge it to ye.
I really enjoyed last night's episode.
It was freaking horrible. Anybody who enjoyed it is an idiot. No offense. So we're talking about this video that's caused all the anger in the Muslim world, as if it wasn't angry already. The ad that the State Department ran in Pakistan at the cost of $70,000. I guess that's a big deal. I don't know. It's worse than I thought it would be. Here is the audio of it. Yes, it's in English. Hit it, Vince.
Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths. We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others.
Oh, really?
Let me state very clearly, and I hope it is obvious, that the United States government had absolutely nothing to do with this video. We absolutely reject its content and message. America's commitment to religious tolerance goes back to the very beginning of our nation.
All right. First of all, she's got that weird, her mouth is dry, and so I can hear her mouth.
Yeah, it's an old person thing.
It's really distracting. All right, listen, back to the outrage.
Old people need to put on lip balm.
So their lips aren't sticking together. You got to swish a little water around or something. Run it again, Vince. Run it. If you love America, Vince.
There it is. Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths.
I'll try not to get distracted.
We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others.
The government of the United States rejects any effort to denigrate a religion? No, we don't. Not only do we permit it, we encourage it. It's enshrined. It's the First Amendment. I can denigrate any damned religion I want. Or
Druids suck!
Or praise it, or remain neutral
I love
on it.
Druids!
Or briefly follow it, then do another one, then another one, like Bob Dylan. The government of the United States does not goddamn reject denigrating religion, Mr. President. Oh, my God!
You know, that's a pretty good point.
And then Hillary compounds it. She says, the U.S. government was not responsible for this video, and we reject its content and message. Wait a minute! You just said the United States government rejects the content of a movie. You don't freaking get to! That's not among the powers of the government, and certainly not in this case, when it's literally apologizing for the very principle you've just shown you don't understand. Oh, my God! They've taken the official position that the U.S. government doesn't appreciate this because it's hard on our religion. How many of our sacred principles can you betray in one 30-second ad? This might be the record.
It would indicate that the First Amendment stops at the water's edge.
Apparently. Yeah.
The U.S. government... I mean, I got the First Amendment.
Well, and beyond that, I mean, it's not even like a benign... Well, don't do that over there. They specifically are denouncing it. And they both said the United States government is denouncing that particular exercise of free speech. Oh, lovely. Because they're angry and they're burning effigies. So that's okay. So that's what my sacred God-given rights are worth to you, Mr. Obama, Mrs. Clinton. If an angry mob of Muslims in some God-forsaken sand country is pissed off, you'll sell my rights down the river. Well, lovely.
I think we would force the hand of our State Department. I'd like to know if the president signed off on this, if this was just an idiotic State Department move. It's an idiotic move no matter who was behind it, but I'd like to know. I suppose we'll find that out over time.
You know, it's his State Department.
Sure.
Although I have pointed out many times, at other times, and this is how incredibly fair-minded I am, I've pointed out that the State Department is an enormous bureaucracy, and one of the hardest fights every president faces is getting the State Department to enact his or her policies because they're so entrenched.
This seems like one of those that right-wingers and left-wingers can join in on. The American Civil Liberties Union would be as into this as a lot of right-wingers.
Anybody who loves freedom.
Yeah. Especially freedom, freedom on one side, and specifically freedom of religion for some of y'all.
Freedom of religion, freedom from religion.
Everybody should put out a damned video saying something awful about Muhammad and force the hand both of the nut job Muslims and the State Department. Because what are you going to do, put out a video? You're going to put out make an ad buy for every YouTube video that comes out? By the way, somebody said somebody needs to apologize for the millions of cat videos on YouTube.
No kidding.
It's
3 views.
Should be, to any sane person, inconsequential, badly done YouTube video. And our State Department made an ad buy in another country to explain it. I mean, that is crazy.
And to condemn it. It's Avpar in Sacto. Hi, Avpar. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. We can. Can you hear us okay?
Absolutely.
Great.
I want to commend you and your staff and the station. Somebody actually stood up in this country and said the right things finally. And it's just these guys. I lived in Europe among these Muslims, lived here. I work for government, and they'll lay low until they get their majority. Once their majority is established, I've seen white kids beat up. I've seen Indian kids beat up by them. These people are nothing but trash. And, Jack, you're right. There should be more movies out there exposing them. Actually, I wouldn't make fun of their religion, but I would expose them what they're actually like. They'll work with you. They'll play all nice, and you'll read everything for years till they become majority. That's it.
And then you're screwed. All right, Avpar, that's right. The religion of submission. Then you will submit.
I say we ignore the rioting nutjob Muslims. You know, what do you do with a kid who's pounding his fists on the ground and whining and complaining? You ignore him. That's the only way.
You'd be a good dad, Vince. Why don't you procreate?
Or you might say get over it, depending on the situation.
Yeah, they're not going to get over it.
Which is I'm saying to the Muslim nutjobs. Look, get over it. It's just, sorry, you're not going to you're not going to get a cupcake for dinner. It just ain't going to happen. So scream and yell or whatever you want to do, but it ain't going to happen.
You ask nicely to the news agencies, do not film these guys, burning things in the middle of the street, because that's all they want. They just want attention.
No.
Them.
No, what you say to them is we say, we are deeply sorry, which is absolutely confirming their outrage. That doesn't make them feel embarrassed or want them to rethink their stance. They think, I just tore down a movie theater, and the President of the United States agrees I should be upset. Look how upset he is.
Right, exactly. He has affirmed my being angry and violent, by the way, and has said specifically, he, the chief executive, condemns that particular exercise of free speech and the freedom of religion. I win.
Jonah,
I got a dozen cupcakes for dinner.
I was reading a Jonah Goldberg piece in National Review, and he said, what happened here is these two things happen, video happens, they go crazy, and what happens on one side, you get a conversation about what's free speech, and should we monitor YouTube, and can they say anything, is this yelling fire in a crowded movie theater, blah, blah, blah. We have a conversation about it. They have no conversation about it.
Right.
So the conversation ends up being on our side.
Right, all the soul searching's over here.
Of whether or not free speech has gone too far. No conversation among the person beating on the burning car with a bat over whether or not maybe we shouldn't go crazy and murder people over YouTube videos.
Right.
We rethink our policy. They don't rethink theirs. That's not a good result. Armstrong and Getty wrapping up another grueling 3-hour workday.
I've attached a cartoon of Muhammad to the golden EMB microphone. I hope Rush Limbaugh doesn't burn the studio down.
Oh, I get it.
Sometimes support free speech.
Sometimes you overreact.
Hey, go to ArmstrongandGettyRadio.com. We've got a lot of good new clicks there. So run out of time, sorry. Our contact info is there, too.
See you tomorrow. God bless America.